example, a company that specializes in visual effects. And I'm small. I have just less than, say, 50 employees. I'm not that big of a business. But I want to get business from the motion picture studios, the Warner Brothers, the MGMs, and so on. Can you help me?
Well, we say that we want to be an outsourcing center for corporate
all
America.
of those, yes.
And we also want to kind of train businesses too and teach small businesses that partnering is really an excellent way to evolve and to grow, because there's so many small companies doing the same thing. And if they partner together and go after contracts or build things together, they can be so much larger.
What stages would you put my little visual effects, special effects company through? Marketing plan, business plan, teach me how to pitch? Are those all the types of things that I could get out of participating in this?
Yeah, the first thing we would do is what we call a diagnostic study, where we'd find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and then we'd work on your weaknesses to help you get to where you need to be.
Okay, great.
And then bring on all the resources to help too. We can't do this by ourselves.
Okay, great. Now let's talk a little bit about your Internet Studio and Multimedia Center. What will those two provide?
The equipment, they will have, again, with the students coming in and working with the small businesses and also other professionals working with the small businesses, this center will allow the small businesses to develop, update, create dynamic sites, and then have chat sites, have online discussions, have anything that deals with the internet, marketing as well. We call this a marketing incubator. There are very few, but we've taken a look at tons of models, and this is the model we...
marketing is in networking so that people can use each other's products and find out about each other?
And speaking with the small businesses, that's what we found is really essential. Finance, yes.
Okay,
Marketing,
hold on to that thought.
definitely.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have to take a break again. We'll be right back and say some more about that.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to our discussion with Tanya McDonald and Gina Rucker of Global Business Incubation. We're talking about a year 2020 plan for Los Angeles that it will create a multimedia hub in the Spring Street, Main Street area. And you were just talking, Gina, about how you will create these model programs for businesses. And I had to interrupt you, and I wanted to let you finish that thought that you were having.
Well, we are creating this as a model first. The different research that we've studied has showcased and proved to us that developing a model first is what you have to do, because then you see the pitfalls, you see who's going to come downtown, you see what, maybe if there are negatives, what they are, so the roadblocks and the obstacles before they actually happen. So this whole project and the partners that we're bringing on are all helping to develop the model in downtown LA, and we're starting with our building at the top floor and making this a showcase center and actually filming the model and showcasing what 2020 Los Angeles will look like.
Let me jump into the future again for a moment. Say, for example, once a business has graduated, if you will, from the incubator and is now part of this hub, would a typical business be, for example, working with like DreamWorks, which is right now being constructed, and all the businesses are being planted there as well? Would you start to see some collaboration between those businesses?
Yes.
That's a possibility, definitely.
Is it, what I mean is it a goal to, in other words, network all the industry giants in Los Angeles so that they can, like you said, outsource to this hub, use the smaller contractors?
Yeah, we want them to understand that this is another resource for them. And this is a resource that is already tried and proven and already getting the kinds of support that it needs. In other regions, when you have a business incubator, banks are more likely to loan the small businesses affiliated with the incubator money because they know that that incubator, that small business is not out there by themselves, that they're in a facility where they're getting the kind of support and nurturing that they need in order to survive. So that's the same thing.
Well, there's an important component of your business loan application.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about George Kosmetsky,
Kosmetsky.
who is one of your distinguished advisors. What are some of the things that he has brought to the table?
This man is phenomenal. Dr. Kosmeski is the co-founder of Teledyne Corporation. He, in fact, was one of the people responsible for the design and layout of Litton Industries in the Valley. And that's what he did before he created Teledyne Corporation. After he did that and created another 100 companies, and many of them are now Fortune 100 companies, he then moved to Austin, Texas, where he wanted to be dean of a university. And so he was the dean of the University of Texas at Austin. There he created one of the top research organizations in the world called IC Squared, which means innovation, creation, and capital.
Creativity and capital.
Yeah, innovation, creativity, and capital.
Yeah.
There, Austin, Texas is now looked upon by the world as another technological type of boom industry, and he was responsible for that. He was the chairman of the board for Michael Dell with Dell Computers, so he was the man that helped to make that happen. He created the first successful technology incubator in Silicon Valley. He created the award-winning technology incubator in Austin, Texas. So
we've got a visionary with a track record here.
He also is the recipient of the National Medal of Technology.
Yes, from President Clinton. And
now, will he
Vice
be
President
based
Gore.
here, or will he still be at the University of Texas in Austin?
Well, he has a house here, and he has grandchildren and children here, so he's back and forth.
He's a
all
frequent
the time.
flyer.
Yes.
Okay.
He has his own jet, so.
And he's going to be he's going to be providing really then the key guidance
Yes.
for the incubator to embrace businesses.
Right, and he has also put up the first challenge grant for this project because he believes in it so thoroughly, and he sees this is something that Los Angeles needs to get behind.
To the tune of how much money?
Just $50,000. Well, $50,000. What do I mean just?
Right.
$50,000, which is great.
Which is great. And,
Yes.
and
Challenge grant.
what are you planning to raise? Give me your wish list.
Our wish list is to raise $1.5 million.
This is a good audience to tell that to.
In capital and equipment.
Yes, and capital and equipment.
So 1.5 million.
Yes.
Just to get the incubator rolling.
Yes. And
Okay.
to really make it an innovation center. And that's what we talk about, having all the equipment and the resources there for small businesses, for youth. We want people to be able to come in and walk around and see what's going on. One of the things that you said that we're going to have is a future space where the walls move. When you push a button, the wall
I actually
will
want to
move.
show
Okay.
the visuals that you brought, since you're talking about that. If we could start showing them, because you're planning to raise money for these things, and right now, what are we looking at? The theater auditorium, a multipurpose facility whose primary function is to serve the Pilot Business Corporation, and if we can just keep showing those visuals.
Which is our youth component.
Here we have the multimedia center and the teaching training facility. So, this is an investor audience. We want them to see what you're trying to attract funding for. The Brain Trust think tank, and what is it, the VMOS?
The Virtual Management Operating System. That's what we mean about all the resources that we're bringing to the table. We know that those small businesses are going to need more than just a couple of people working with them. We want to make sure we have a whole team of people working and promoting and supporting the small businesses that are a part of our incubator.
And
Okay.
also the youth, because the youth component, which we call our Pilot Business Corporation, we haven't touched on that
Just
yet.
going to ask you that. I was like, okay, we're
had to
almost
dive
out
in
of time. Let me find out about the youth.
But that is such a key component because, and I'm really so excited about it because when kids graduate from college or sometimes youth, right after high school, they're so innovative and they don't have a place where they can funnel that creativity and actually partner with other kids who want to start creative projects and who want to start businesses. And this is a place where they can actually learn how to start businesses, how to work with the businesses, because they will be working directly with the businesses in the incubator, and then with mentors also.
Which is that why you call it virtual incubator organization? Distinguish that for me.
Well, virtual means that they don't necessarily have to be all at the same location.
Right.
And that we can do things electronically these days. I mean, we have these new tools and the new rules, and we have to use them.
All right. Unfortunately, I have to say goodbye now, but thank you, ladies, both so much for bringing this very innovative, very viable, very exciting business project to our viewers.
Oh,
and
thank you.
we really wish you the best of luck and hope that you get lots of great corporate partnerships. And
Definitely.
thank you for caring about the students along the way. And thank you for joining us today.